I want to fight the best in spite of the danger. I'm that guy. Might be a little crazy for some people, and I agree, but I'm that guy.
Bernard, do you think you start?
He's been trying to ask me.
You mentioned the.
Sorry, bro.
Nah, you can.
You mentioned the Pacquiao Mayweather fight. Did you look at the price points?
I was there for a week. Monday to Monday, they hired me. ESPN.
Did you look at the price points? You wanted to avoid for this fight, and as far as your prices seem to be more affordable as far as tickets.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, well, that's no secret.
Yeah.
That was premeditated.
Yeah.
To understand and let fans know that you're going to get more for less. More the opposite way for less. You're going to get more for less. You pay less and you're going to get more just by their styles. Simple. And you know what? I'm telling people beforehand, they're going to be really upset after October 17th when the fight goes down and it happens that they paid that money for that fight in May. And to no fault, that's Mayweather's. Mayweather showed up. I said then and I'll say it now. The other guy didn't show up. And you know who the other guy is. Plain and simple. Wasn't Mayweather.
What do you think about Pacquiao's statements that he didn't see a doctor and that God and ocean water healed his shoulder?
I think he ought to retire. It's starting to kick in now. It's starting to kick in. See, certain things you can say in a way of maybe you got to hit the laugh and joke at the end, so you don't want to take it as serious to repeat it like you just did. Obviously, he didn't do that, but he did. So I guess you feel that he's serious. Listen, I don't. There's people out there that believe in the water healing and all that stuff. I'll say this to you. Fool me once. Fool me once. It's on you. Fool me twice. The fans. Right? You know the outcome of that.
Buy it again.
Exactly.
You think that they can fool the fans again?
No. Well, that's what I just said. No, it's not going to happen. They already spoken. The fans, I guarantee you, the fans.
Does that take away from his credibility, even making a statement like that?
It took away his credibility when he first made the first statement about injury. Should have kept his mouth shut.
So now you're talking.
Either two things he should have done: kept his mouth shut or didn't fight. Postponed it for 2 weeks. Postponed it for 3 weeks. People are legitimate. That'd have been more wholesome and that'd have been more real. You got hurt. Nobody wants to see a man get hurt. If you're a fan, you want a guy going healthy, especially if you bet your money. You mean to tell me I'm betting my money? Then think street now, right? You see like a guy that venture around no stereotype you, but it's like a guy around that know about
Born and raised in Harlem, so you got me right.
Okay. Certain things you just don't do and expect to have credibility when it's all said and done. Because you bet your money, that's why I said the neighborhood thing. You bet your money. You mean to tell me you got your money down, you a dude on the street, and you roll around the street and you bet 10,000, 10 stacks, 30 stacks. And you finding out that 2 weeks later or a day later that this guy was hurt and forgot in the ring and you lost your her money. Now we talking about the hood. We talking about hard-working people that's betting money because that's what they do. There's no crime against it. And you lost your money because this guy went in there wounded and you took your hard money and you spent 10 stacks on somebody who thought was gonna win. As a fan, you be hurt. As a fan, you be hurt. Not only did you lose money, but this dude wasn't even 100% right to go in there. You'd rather than saying, man, I got my 10 G's, we gotta wait, there'll be a little barbershop talk for about a day or two, it'll die down, y'all get ready for the next fight.
How would you assess Danny Garcia's debut as a middleweight?
Who?
Danny Garcia.
He's not fighting middleweight.
I mean, no, that's a welterweight.
He looks strong. Danny looks strong, he looks sharp, and so it won't be no excuses or shouldn't be for what happens next now, because he's at that weight where is arguably, I was surprised he's done it in the last 2 years or 3 years, seriously, but eventually, depending on you and depending on your lifestyle, you can sort of like camouflage it for a minute, but then after a while, the body is undefeated. If you don't do the things and sort of grow into that natural weight, the body's going to fight, and next thing you know, man, it'll catch up on you in a bad night, and your excuse is not heard by the fans, or you. So I think now that he had this great weight, where he's comfortable, where he don't have to do the things that he used to do and got away with it, no longer can get away with it. So Danny Garcia, I think, will be all right at 47.
Think he could dominate?
Who would you like to see Danny against next?
Who I would like to see Danny fight next at 47? There's a lot of people out there. He's not going to fight none of our guys. I like to see him fight Broner. I like to see him fight Broner, Porter maybe. I like to see him fight or even who I do love. I love his attitude. I love the way he fights. 47, Thurman. One time. I like to see Danny Garcia and Thurman. So there's many fights out there, but unfortunately they're not on our side. So whether they happen or not, they probably will. Who wins what fight? Oh, that's a banger. Either one can win and lose that fight. But it would take about 2 or 3 fights out of their career. So that's what I look for. I look for fights that, when people ask me about certain fights that's so matched up, where I know that even the winner is done. What do you mean the winner is done? He won, but look how much he had to give of himself. Look how much he had to give of himself. See, with me, with Tito, Trinadad was here, and I ain't even mention it to all y'all because I want them to sleep. And in spite of, I can be wrong too, come October. But I was in the same position that Lemieux is in. Nobody's really giving him a shot. They giving him a good scrap. Maybe a 4-5 to 1 underdog when it comes. Am I right? Am I right? I was the same way. They was giving Trinadad all these gifts. They just gave the guy a robe and a hat. I had a flashback just now, but I didn't want to say nothing. I'm like, I told Lemieux, I said, Lemieux, guess what? This is so crazy. It's 14, 15 years ago. They did the same thing. I sat up there, you know, until I had enough of it, then I grabbed the flag.
I was there.
I had enough of it at the minute because I had my titles and I had 11 defenses. So I'm like, hold up, these shenanigans got to stop. I'm not here for the ride. So I informed Lemieux of, as I said up there on the podium, I informed them about their history and how this thing right now is coming back full circles to me. Oh, I'm mentally all right. I'm just letting you know how those little, not everything, but the little things that mentally came back.
How's Oscar doing? Why he couldn't make it to the press?
Well, Oscar's in, I just come off vacation from my family. Oscar's enjoying himself. And this is why I'm with Golden Boy. And this is what I need to do. You got to earn your keep. You got to earn your paycheck. And I'm earning it. So that's the luxury of, well, he asked a great question. The luxury of Golden Boy promotion. You have 2 fighters that can talk, that's articulate, same thing. They have personality, that know the business in the ring and know the business out of the ring. Who else in boxing can represent those 2 entities other than Oscar and Bernard? Say, I'm ready to go to Cuba and sign everybody. Who are they going to relate to, me or somebody else that never boxed? That's what they're afraid of. And they should be. No, I ain't got to get on the plane. It's all right. Trust me. I ain't got to get on the plane. Trust me. The first flight comes out of the United States to Cuba in December.
That's when the gates open?
Listen, but you can go before then. What I'm saying is right now, when it comes to credibility, we can't rely on that too. That you know how I think. Along with that credibility that's already there, it becomes now work ethics. And when you have the work ethics of myself and the work ethics of De La Hoya, I'm a little bit more deranged with it. I'm extreme with it just like I was in the ring. Whether I'm fighting or not fighting, I'm looking good. I'm on point. My weight is right. As the age became 41, 2, 3, 4, 5, already 50, I got even worse. With that mentality. Scary for some, and it should be. But it's best for me.
Signing young talent, you have to compete with out-handed and those other guys.
It ain't competing. See, they're just like having a pretty young woman or a girl or a handsome guy thinking he got to compete amongst other women. She don't compete against other women. Why would she? She She feels she don't have to. They got to compete against her. That's part of that boxing mode mentality. Why I got to compete against you? I want to beat you. I want to take your belt because I got a belt. When you look at yourself, you got to compete, you're already second. Because competing is saying that you, who you're competing against, at least that's what you're telling yourself, is that you have to match what they're doing to prove that you're better than that person.
I want to talk about arms.
So I don't go, life is too short, and there's too much stuff you got to do to compete against Al, who, or this guys. Whatever they doing, as long as they bring an audience to a sport that help, along with my work with it, save my life from going back to the penitentiary after doing 5 years of my life. Long as my enemy, the devil, Lucifer, I don't care who it is, as long as they doing what brings a spotlight on boxing, like soccer, baseball, football's coming up next month, I'm happy. People want to get into, are you trying to do this for this? Are you trying to do that for that? No. You got a choice. You can watch those fights at Premiere, or you can watch Lemieux and Triple G. You can watch Canelo, or you can watch Cotto. It's up to, really, we competing for the best writers to write about us. If anything, we competing about the fans buying pay-per-view, knowing that they get not only a good, reasonable price, going towards the holiday, November, the following month, December, right? Closing out the year like reading a book. Yeah, you remember the first part. Now you remember some of the middle part. But the ending of the book will make you say or not, that was a great book. Why? From what you read from the beginning or what you read at the end. So the end of the year to me, based on the beginning of the year of this year, you're heartbroken. We're here to make the transplant easy for you. You see my spit game? Why would I compete? Listen, this is a personality. This ain't taught. Why would I compete with anybody? Let them, if they choose to, compete with us. Because they always watch it. Remember, they always watch it when you don't see it. And that's good, because it keeps you on your P's and Q's. See, when you fall off, love ain't gonna keep her with you. When you fall off, see how I mix the business with relationships? When you fall off, love ain't gonna keep her with you. Tina Turner said the best quote.
What's love got to do with it?
You remember the best quote?
What's love got to do with it?
With love, Zach. Say it again.
What's love got to do with it?
You walking around, she keeping herself together, looking nice at thing, your stomach out, you eating cupcakes, Danishes, and you blowing up.
You put me on the spot.
She get this, hey honey, I love you, but oh my God, like won't you? But she's so passionate, the woman is. She will even coach you into changing your mentality in a nice way. Won't you walk, honey? I'll walk with you. She's giving you the hint, but you're so, you're so bullheaded. You're like, I ain't got job. I just got finished working. You make all the excuses up. I'm going to work. I'm doing it. Next thing you know, you just swell up 9 sizes than you was. And after a while, man, then there's a domino effect.
Is my weapon talking to you?
No, no. Matter of fact, no. Listen, you know the domino effect? The domino effect attracts every walks of life. You're a young guy, and this wasn't directed to you, that conversation. It wasn't. It wasn't even in my mind. I'm just making an example. But I've seen you around. Whatever you don't like about whatever, change it. I don't like what's going on in the business of boxing. I can talk and holler about it, but then it fall on deaf ears. And I'm in position to help change it by doing not only fights, but only speaking about what I believe in, like I've done in my own career, which brings me credibility, change it. A lot of people talk. They talk. They march. My ancestors have marched so many times for me, why would I wear my sneakers out and shoes out? I ain't marching no more. You do something about it. Because after you do all the energy stuff, it requires help, don't it? When injustice is being done, people make a lot of noise. And they system know that they're going to be quiet after a week. No matter what topic it is. But I'm glad I got the spirit and the personality and also the understanding of this business that I'm into, which made people respect me and love me and also hate me at the same time. You can't have the cake and eat it too. You're going to either have the balance of both. As he followed me for many years, and some of y'all, I welcome that adversity. See, that's the thing of my way is I'm not afraid of that adversity.
But how do you stay so positive? How do you block the negative when it's always like behind you?
Because of the negative, I block it. Because of when I see whether we can agree to disagree, that's one thing. Because you have your right, I have my right. Whatever it is, it could be lifestyle, it could be what you like to eat, what I like to eat, it could be your preference, my preference. But at the end of the day, I'd rather for people to know that I was a man, I grew up to be a man coming in, and I'm leaving out as a man coming out. Some days it gets you. Some days you think why people don't respect this, why he don't like me, she don't like me, why that is. But at the end of the day, when you get to understand human beings, some. When you get to understand human nature, some, not all. You get the understanding that we are the only creatures that are unpredictable amongst the ones that are predictable. A shark does what a shark does. A lion in a wild does what it does. We can be different Monday and change Wednesday, skipping over Tuesday. This is the difference between knowing how you keep the balance of never being, I guess, as growing up, disappointed. I don't be disappointed when somebody let me down. I used to be, but when it happens so much, especially by those who you trust, if you're that person like myself that don't let too many people get in, that is an honor as far as when you got in, you earned that somehow. And I'm the type of person, it could be the littlest thing, which always go into something bigger if you don't correct it and cut that out. They don't leave cancer in your body if they know they can get it out. What do they do? What do they do? They cut it out, right? There's a reason why they cut cancer out on these bodies. Because if they don't, it'll spread. I mean, use the logic. I'm not making fun of anybody here with degrees, because I send people to private schools and family. I don't have no degree of this schooling of the world, but I have common sense. And sometimes we can get so smart within ourselves and we forget the common sense part.
You asked